Thanks for your help this morning.
Get
We
ready.
really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad you saw it and liked
Yeah,
it.
thanks guys.
At 7 in the morning, in a city that never really sleeps, Los Angeles was still wrapped in a soft haze when chaos began to brew quietly in the world of celebrity gossip, that insatiable machine that never misses a beat when the scent of scandal hangs in the air. A headline flashed across screens, first in whispers on social media, then exploding into a roar. Sam Heughan and Dakota Johnson caught, holding hands leaving the Four Seasons Hotel. The photo, grainy and shot from an angle that revealed more mystery than truth, showed only a man with light hair and a woman in dark glasses, walking side by side. No names were confirmed, no official word released, and yet, in a world that thrives on half-truths and assumptions, the connection was made in seconds. By mid-morning, #SamCaught was trending on Twitter, and the internet was a battlefield of emotions. Some fans swooned, insisting it was destiny, while others scoffed, decrying the invasion of privacy and the irresponsibility of the press. Instagram flooded with fan art and mashups of Jamie Fraser from Outlander and Anastasia Steele from 50 Shades of Grey, fictional lovers reborn through the imagination of people hungry for romance where perhaps there was none. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away in Edinburgh, the supposed man of the moment, Sam Heughan, sat quietly in a corner of a small cafe tucked away from the noise, preparing for an independent film project that he had been passionate about for months. The aroma of roasted coffee beans filled the air, but his phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Notifications multiplied like wildfire. Messages from his agent, missed calls from journalists, emails from tabloids demanding comment. His assistant Monica entered, pale and visibly shaken. "Sam, you need to see this," she said, handing him her phone. The screen glowed with the headline, the same one now being shared millions of times. For a moment, Sam said nothing. His jaw tightened, his eyes darkened not with anger but with disappointment. Disappointment in the system, in the recklessness of it all. He had seen rumors before. They came and went like passing storms. But this one felt different, personal, invasive, reckless. "Silence is not consent," he muttered quietly, staring at the distorted headlines. The narrative being spun was not just about a rumored romance, but about integrity, the subtle destruction of one's truth in the name of clicks and gossip. The memory of 3 nights ago flickered through his mind. The charity gala, elegant and subdued, hosted to raise awareness for mental health initiatives, something Sam had long supported. Dakota Johnson had been there too, radiant and kind, briefly exchanging pleasantries with him near the entrance before disappearing into a swirl of conversations and cameras. They didn't even take a picture together, let alone leave in the same car. And yet, within hours, that fleeting moment had been twisted into a love story. "They made up a whole narrative out of nothing," Sam said under his breath. Monica hesitated. "Do you want me to contact the press?" she asked softly, aware that any statement could pour fuel on the fire. "No," he replied after a moment. "I'll speak up myself." Later that afternoon, as the world buzzed with speculation, Sam opened his Instagram account. He stared at the blank space for a while, considering his words carefully. Finally, he uploaded a pitch-black image, stark, minimal, reflective of the mood, and began to type. "I don't usually speak out about rumors, but this time, I felt it was necessary," the caption began. "Recently, some media outlets have reported false information about my relationship with Dakota Johnson. I would like to clarify that we are not romantically involved. I respect Dakota as a great colleague and an intelligent woman, but everything you read is fiction. The media needs to learn to verify before creating rumors that affect the image and personal life of others. The truth is in the public interest, but the truth also needs to be protected from fabrication." He signed it simply, Sam Heughan. Within minutes, the post went viral. In less than an hour, it had surpassed 1 million likes. By evening, over 3 million. The comment section was divided. Some praised him for his courage and calmness, applauding his integrity. Others remained skeptical, insisting there's no smoke without fire, their faith in gossip stronger than in human decency. The internet is rarely a place for nuance. Once a story catches flame, even truth struggles to douse it. But Sam's words resonated with many. Fellow actors, journalists with conscience, and ordinary people who had grown weary of seeing lives distorted by the thirst for engagement. 3 days later, the story found its way across the Atlantic as Dakota Johnson stepped into the spotlight in Toronto for the press conference of her new film. The atmosphere was elegant yet tense, the air charged with anticipation. Reporters were poised, ready to probe. One, braver or perhaps more opportunistic than the rest, raised a hand. "Do you have anything to share about the love rumors with Sam Heughan?" The question hung in the air, sharp and heavy. Dakota paused. She smiled faintly, a composed expression that carried a hint of sadness, perhaps even fatigue. "I think we've reached a strange point in time," she said slowly, choosing her words with precision, "where two people can be seen in the same place, and suddenly, the world decides there's a story there. Sam is someone I deeply respect. We've met through professional circles, and he's an incredible actor and human being. But no, there's no romantic relationship. I think it's important that the media starts remembering the difference between fact and fiction. When you publish something that isn't true, you don't just create a headline. You affect people's lives, their families, their peace." Her tone was calm, but the message was unmistakably firm. Her answer circulated across the internet, yet the noise didn't completely fade. For every truth spoken, there remained a shadow of speculation. Some gossip sites updated their stories with quiet retractions, buried under fresh sensational headlines. Others doubled down, dissecting her words and gestures, creating theories from silence. It was a cruel cycle, one that both Sam and Dakota had learned to endure. But this time, the experience left a deeper scar, a reminder of how easily perception becomes reality when truth is no longer the priority. Back in Edinburgh, Sam finished his day's shoot and returned to his small rented flat overlooking the cobbled streets. He scrolled briefly through his phone. Messages from friends, a note from his mother reminding him to rest, fans expressing support. The storm was beginning to calm, though the traces lingered. He placed his phone face down on the table, exhaled deeply, and looked out the window where the rain had begun to fall lightly. For a moment, the city felt still. He thought about Dakota, how both of them were bound now not by romance, but by the shared weight of a narrative they didn't author. In truth, the episode was not just about two celebrities caught in a rumor. It was about the fragility of reputation in the digital age, where images are believed before words and algorithms thrive on outrage. It exposed a broader sickness in the culture of fame, the blurring line between reality and performance, between the public and the personal. Sam had always believed that art should connect people, not destroy their dignity. His statement wasn't just self-defense. It was a call to accountability, to remember that behind every headline there's a human being who laughs, fears, and bleeds like anyone else. And as dawn broke the next day, with the first rays of sunlight piercing through the Scottish mist, he realized something quietly profound. That truth, though fragile, always finds its way back, no matter how long the night of falsehood lasts. The world may not always listen, but authenticity.
Are we doing it?
Dakota smiled faintly, that subtle kind of smile that conceals 1,000 emotions behind a mask of composure. But her eyes told a different story, calm, steady, yet undeniably serious. "I think Sam has said it clearly enough," she began, her voice even and measured, addressing the room full of journalists who leaned forward, hungry for a new headline. "We are not dating. It is a pity that untrue stories are spread as though they were the truth. I hope the public can learn to distinguish between cinema and real life. Not every time two famous people appear together, they are in love." Her words hung in the air, quiet yet heavy with meaning, slicing through the fog of speculation like light through mist. The press conference, meant to promote her new film, had briefly transformed into a lesson on restraint and dignity. The journalists, perhaps out of a rare sense of respect or perhaps self-preservation, did not push further. They sensed that Dakota's response was not just about herself or Sam, but about something larger. The way truth had become fragile, endangered even, in a world fueled by the machinery of gossip. The next day, her statement was quoted across major outlets, praised for its civility and poise. "Dakota Johnson handles rumors with grace," read one headline. "A masterclass in composure," said another. For once, the media seemed to agree that her clarity deserved acknowledgement. Yet behind those elegant headlines, both Dakota and Sam were left reflecting on what the entire episode had revealed about the relationship between fame, truth, and responsibility. Not long after the incident, Sam received a formal invitation from the BBC to participate in a televised discussion titled The Modern Media: Ethics, Rumors, and Responsibility. He accepted without hesitation, aware that silence, while comfortable, was no longer an option. The program was broadcast live on a Sunday evening, and viewers tuned in from across the United Kingdom and beyond. Dressed simply in a navy suit, Sam appeared calm but thoughtful, his expression reflecting both weariness and quiet conviction. "We public figures understand that attention is part of the price we have to pay," he said when asked whether celebrities should expect rumors as part of their careers. "But it should not be the price that makes us lose our right to be honest. If a false article can be shared millions of times just because it is sensational, then the truth has been traded for interaction, and that is something I do not accept." His words resonated deeply. Within hours, that quote began circulating on social media, shared by fellow actors, journalists, and fans alike. It became something of a rallying cry for accountability, not just within the entertainment industry, but across every sphere where misinformation thrived. The phrase, "the truth has been traded for interaction," was printed in magazines, discussed in university ethics classes, and quoted by media professionals who still believed in integrity. What Sam hadn't anticipated, however, was the wave of humanity that followed. His management office began receiving thousands of letters and emails from people all over the world. Not just fans of his acting, but individuals who had themselves been hurt by falsehoods. Some wrote of gossip that had cost them friendships, others of workplace rumors, and still others of social media lies that had spiraled beyond control. Among them was a letter from a young woman in Spain named Maria. Her handwriting was neat and careful, her words both tender and painful to read. "Sam," she wrote, "thank you for standing up. I was bullied at school because of a false rumor. Everyone believed it because it spread quickly. When I saw how you defended yourself and others, I felt comforted. Not only because you are my favorite actor, but because you are brave. You showed me that truth still matters." Sam read that letter slowly, his heart heavy yet full. There was something profoundly human about those messages. They reminded him that behind every story, true or false, there were real people, real consequences. He took the time to read each letter he could, sitting late into the night with a cup